StadiumDB.com presents Future Stadiums in Italy. Buongiorno! We are continuing our series featuring projects of stadiums that are currently under construction or will soon begin to rise. After the English and Spanish arenas, this time our attention turns to the Apennine Peninsula, where a real stadium revolution is in the making. We will present you 15 concepts, and among them there will be the stadiums of the most successful clubs in the country. We invite you to visit sunny Italy. Stadio Porta Elisa, capacity 12,000. Lucchese 1905. We start in Lucca, Tuscany. The local club wants to progress, and for that it needs a modern facility. The current stadium was built back in 1935 and it's high time for a major modernization. A project is worth around 50 million euros, and the goal is to build a new and modern 12,000-seat facility, which would be roofed and expandable to 16,000, the minimum capacity for Serie A. Work could begin in 2024. Nuovo Stadio di Caserta, capacity 12,000, Casertana FC. We are moving to Campania. The new stadium in Caserta is to be built on the site of the current Stadio Alberto Pinto. The project envisages the creation of an infrastructure suitable for the current needs of international football, the only one of its kind in Italy, with a skybox, stages and pitch views, a medical center, gym and spa, bars, restaurants, a guest house, car parks and a further 50,000 square meters of office and retail space. The venue will be expandable to 16,000 and the construction is set to start after the 2022-23 season. Bosco dello Sport, capacity 16,000, Venezia FC. A modern facility is also planned in the Queen of the Adriatic. The concept has been dubbed as Sport Forest, Bosco dello Sport, and involves the construction of a new sports complex integrated into the green area. The centerpiece of the project will be a football stadium for Venezia FC. The facility will be built on an oval plan, with the external facade formed by numerous multicolored pole-like columns. Stadio Erasmo Iacovone, capacity 16,306, Taranto FC. Moving back south, in May 2022 the project for the redevelopment of the Iacovone Stadium was officially presented, included the overall plans for the Salinella district and facilities for the 2026 Mediterranean Games held in Taranto. Designed by the GAU Arena Studio, which has already contributed in the past to the construction of Juventus Allianz Stadium, the new Stadio Iacovone was conceived to meet the requirements of UEFA Category 4. The western stand is to be equipped with hospitality services and a press room. The project also involves reducing the space between the stands and the pitch. Stadio Renato Curi, capacity 18,000, Perugia Calcio. The new stadium concept in the capital of Umbria was prepared by Gau Arena Zavanella Studio. The project, it is said, will be worth 76 million euros. The venue will have 18,000 cover seats and commercial space with underground parking and mega screens on the one of the exterior walls. Stadio Libero Liberati, capacity 18,500, Ternana Calcio. The new stadium is to be built to replace the Stadio Libero Liberati, which is now well over its age. Construction will take place in stages to allow the team to play matches while the work is being carried out. The facility is to have a compact shape with single-story stands covered by a roof. The canopy is to be capped with photovoltaic panels to ensure an adequate energy balance. In front of the stadium, a 13,000 square meter plaza and a subway will be created. A club museum and a youth sports center are also planned. Stadio Carlo Castellani, capacity 20,226, Empoli FC. The complete redevelopment of Empoli's stadium is to follow a similar pattern to the abandoned concept from 2015. One by one, 3 of the 4 stands will be replaced by new ones, no longer including the athletics track. The south goal will be the first, followed by the north goal, and once these are completed, also the west stand. Only the eastern, 2-tiered section of the auditorium will remain in place, although it will have a roof and new facilities. It is to this stand that the playing field will be moved in the new layout, so that the spectators will be closer to the pitch line on each side. Stadio Partegno. Capacity 21,500. US Avellino. The new stadium in Avellino is to stand on the exact site of its predecessor, occupying the area not only of the old Stadio Partegno, but also of the training pitch to the east. The layout of the auditorium will change fundamentally, from an oval to a very compact rectangle. This will bring the spectators closer to the pitch. The structure is to be simple and modern. The facade will be covered with diagonal aluminium panels, solid or in grid form. The roof is also to be covered in aluminium apart from the polycarbonate transparent parts. At this point, we would like to ask you to subscribe, click the bell and like this video. A comment below would also be appreciated. Thanks! Stadio Ennio Tardini. Capacity 22,000. Parma Calcio. The complete redevelopment of Ennio Tardini Stadium involves combining historical aspect with a modern, futuristic design. The symbolic western entrance arch will be preserved, but the new structure will bear little resemblance to the old one. The concept is to create one of the most unusual stadiums in the world. There will be no compact facade, but an openwork structure made of weathering steel. Also, the roof, supported by 8 columns, is designed to appear as if it's levitating above the pitch. Gevis Stadium. Capacity 24,950. Atalanta BC. To plan the complete redevelopment of the stadium, Atalanta Bergamo hired Diotto Architetti, a studio with which the club had already worked on an upgrade of the historic stands along the pitch. In line with the Bergamo local government's commitment, the club has to preserve their historic facades and the canopy in the west, so the Otto have decided to focus mainly on rebuilding the stands behind the goals. As the available space and the permissible form of the development is very limited, the stands have a maximally simplified shape and will be covered with ETFE cushions in very subdued colors. Stadio Cagliari. Capacity 25,200. Cagliari Calcio. The compact and elegant facade conceals rich and interestingly planned facilities, including an exclusive terrace with a swimming pool at stadium's roof level or hotel rooms above the corner auditorium. A light rope roof would be suspended above the stands. The concept of the stadium in the Sardinian capital has been prepared by the American studio Manica. The final design, which differs from the original proposal, is now ready and waiting for the necessary approvals. Construction should begin in 2023. It was also decided that the venue could be expanded to 30,000 seats. This would enable it to meet the requirements of Euro 2032 if Italy is granted the hosting rights. Stadio Renato Dall'Ara. Capacity 30,325. Bologna FC. The long-awaited redevelopment of the venue in Bologna is set to change the appearance of the stadium and at the same time respect its most valuable historical part from 1927. In order to do so, the top level of the stands will be demolished in its entirety, revealing the masonry facade with arcades, the construction of which began back in 1925. These elements will undergo a thorough renovation, while the inside of the stadium will undergo a real revolution. All existing stands will be demolished. The exception will be the main structure of the western section of the auditorium, as part of its backstage area is to be retained. Stadio Artemio Franchi. Capacity 40,000. ACF Fiorentina. The redevelopment project for the arena in the Tuscan capital involves the construction of new stands closer to the pitch behind the goals, which will be connected to the existing structure. The existing canopy of the main stand will be retained, and the remaining section, with a small gap near the marathon tower, will be covered with a flat metal canopy, which will not interfere with the city skyline and will be covered with photovoltaic panels. The roofing will also cover the spaces created between the old and new stands behind the gates. These will be converted into an auditorium and a museum, respectively. Stadio della Roma. Capacity 52,594. AS Roma. The new home of AS Roma is to be built in the Pietralata district with no finished design yet. The arena, which is expected to have a capacity of around 60,000 seats, would be built on land owned by the city. In addition to the venue itself, there is to be a park, a shopping and sports center, and 2 footbridges for pedestrians and cyclists. The plan is to build the facility near Tiburtina station. The giallorossi authorities have already commissioned a study to minimize any difficulties in connecting the stadium with the rest of the city. The arena itself is also to be multi-purpose, making the arena vibrant beyond match days. Nuovo Stadio Milano. Capacity 60,000. AC Milan, Inter FC. Both clubs from the capital of Lombardy, AC Milan and Inter, are considering various options for their future home. The proposal, called Cathedral, is the closest to realization and is meant to refer to already well-known monuments of Milan, led by the famous Duomo. The stadium will impress with its imposing architecture, in which a monumental reinforced concrete structure meets a sheet of glass surrounding the stadium. Fan promenades will take the form of church aisles, building excitement even before entering the stands. Designed by populace, the stadium is intended to prepossess with its scale and spatial order, but also with its ecology. And this concludes our tour of future Italy's stadiums. We are looking forward to seeing them completed. Make sure you have your say in the comments which design you like the most. Thank you for watching and see you soon.